I'm Dave Crane. Now I also do gigs like this. And I can train you to be able to work with people like this. And then you also can do gigs like this. Come join me and we'll take your speaking to a whole new level. Hi, how are you? Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending where you are in the world. I'm Dave Crane, welcome to Speak on Stage. My job is to make you feel good. Or bad, depending on how you want to feel, it's up to you. But every single day I do a show, or every other day I do a show, or most days I do a show, and I share with you a lot of insights. Sometimes they're business related, sometimes personal, sometimes about mental health, sometimes about having no mental health at all, and sometimes they're very irresponsible but make me laugh. Today, there's a bit of everything really. So I love to have your thoughts and your comments as always. Feel free to drop them in as we go and let me know whereabouts in the world you are, because that's always fascinating to know. So then I can comment and go hi and stuff like that as well. And as always, we're looking for your topics, your subjects. What do you want me to cover? I do a whole range of different things, not everything. Don't say, oh, Dave, can you do something on rocket science? And I'll go, okay, you press a button, it takes off and goes whoosh, boom. And you'll say, but that sounds like it was a synsonic drum from the 80s. It goes boo, 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 boo. Not a rocket. And I'll go, yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't ask me stupid questions. I've got no idea about that. But ask me about something else, like speaking or stages, or how to communicate more effectively, how to get your team so they get on better, and how to be more productive, and how to set up your own business and your side hustle, how to deal with stress, how to get on better with your family, all those and the above, and I can help. And then you can go, okay, but can you just talk about rockets? Because I like the way you go, boo! So no, I'm not going to talk about that. This is what we're talking about today, how to survive the family in lockdown. But there's the important thing, that bit in red where it says your family in lockdown. This is key. You are responsible for a large part of that family existing, and you might turn around and say, yes, I was splitting up with my partner and we went into lockdown. I only came round to pack my things, and then they said, you've got to stay there. And I don't care. Look, at some point, you have to take responsibility for what's going on in your life. And here's the thing that I think is really important, and it's a really powerful thing to think about. You should take responsibility for everything that's in your life, because if you don't do that, other people are going to be blamed for not doing the right thing by you, and most people don't care. And also, it means that you always feel like a victim, that everybody else is doing stuff and you never get your fair crack of the whip. The truth is that nobody cares about you. This is just true. I'm sorry if this is difficult for you to deal with, but I just want to help you with this. This is the world's smallest violin. Can you listen to this? Listen. No, you can't hear anything. You know why? It's so quiet. It's playing sad music for how bad you feel about yourself at this moment in time. And you're going to say, Dave, that's a bit unfair. Ooh, you're a bit brutal. Yeah, I know. But is that right for you to say it? I'm going to go, probably not. And so, well, why do you say it then? Because sometimes you've just got to say things that really matter. And sometimes you've got to care enough about people to say what you think. Yes, I know, it's tough. I just realized I can press that button and turn everything down. That's really cool, that is. Hold on, well, on my keyboard, right, because I stopped using my iPad because I changed it today. On my Mac keyboard, if I press the letter A, music starts. Wait for it. Wait! Goodness me, just behave. Let me just see where it is here. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And stop. See? Just showing off. Okay, so today's show, we've got so much stuff lined up for you. It's all about having a family stuck in lockdown. You will laugh your head off, but at the same time you'll go, woo, that meant a lot, and it does mean a lot, but it's good to have you here to share this constant content with you. Let me know where you are. Let me know about your thoughts, and we will be going through all the stuff that you need to know to be able to work with me for the Industry Icon program, and so on and so forth. Got 3 great videos for you coming up soon, by the way. We're going to go through a video all about what you should do with your family during lockdown and how to relate better. Some rules you can put in the house will be completely ignored by everybody else. And if you've got a family living with you, then you'll know. And by the way, if you are living on your own, then I feel for you. You can also feel for us with our family. So let's make it a bit of a mutual bonding session as well. And if you're living with somebody who you don't know that well, you just got into lockdown and you said, well, let's give it a go. And before you know, you had a go and it wasn't very good. And you go, wow, really messed that up. If you haven't moved back home yet, then something must be good there. Or maybe you should just stop. It's your call, but I'm not talking about that. Today isn't about this. I'm going to try and press the button now and see if this works, and it might not work at all. Let's try that button. No. Let's try that button. No. Let's not try any more buttons, Dave. That's a brilliant idea. Let's try 0 buttons. Apart from the one that's got music built in. That one, we'll do that. So today's session is very much all about this. This is about what it feels like. Now, I've only got 1 kid, Maya. All right, and that's like me, that's like the wife, that's like Maya. But if you can imagine having 2 dogs, replacing the baby with 2 dogs, just staring at you going, Daddy, can we go out for a walk? No, you can't, I'm tired. Can we go out for a walk? No, you can go out for a walk. Can we have some biscuits? Yeah, you can have some biscuits. Great, can we go out for a walk now? No, you've had biscuits instead. But you said the word walk. I know I said the word walk because you brought up the word walk. Daddy, we're dogs. We don't speak. We just stare at you and do puppy eyes. Can we go out? Can we go out? Can we go for a walk? No, you're not going to have for a walk. Well, can we have some more biscuits then? Yes, you can have some more biscuits. Did you know that biscuits and walk go very well together? Oh, why am I bothering? Why am I bothering? Anyway, meanwhile, for everybody else who's going, Dave's gone a bit crackers today. Good to see you, by the way. So today is make sure you've got your coffee day because you're gonna need it. That's a bit hot. And I'm wearing my coffee today. Whee! I'm carrying my Union Jack cup today because I'm trying to ease down my coffee, so it's a small cup. So that's why I've not had my Wakanda one or my superhero ones for a little while. But I might buy small superhero ones because I'm just treating my coffee sparingly so I can enjoy it better. But also, UK is a bit of a mess right now as well. I've got to give my love out to all my friends and colleagues and families and people based in the north of England. The north of England is where everything happens, north of Midlands. So we're talking Newcastle, Leeds, Redcar. I was born in Leeds. I lived in Middlesbrough and used to party in Newcastle. Talking Manchester, York, you're talking Liverpool. Talking all these areas have gone into virtual lockdown. Now, the reason why is generally because of lots of different reasons, of course, but also because if you come from the north, you like to enjoy your life. It's really difficult to say to these people, do not socialize, do not get on with each other, stay indoors, because we live for getting on with people. I mean, I live in Dubai, I've been here almost 30 years, but being from the northeast is still in me. And it's just a part of me. That's why I can talk to you every single day and feel good. So for instance, if you're in the UK, and you get, depending whether you're at the north or the south, it depends where you go. As to if you're, say, waiting for a bus, and nobody waits for a bus anymore, but suppose you wait for a bus. I mean, you wouldn't get on a bus nowadays, would you? Because you'd be like social distancing. And if you've got social distancing on a bus, and the bus is like, I don't know how long like that, you'd probably be allowed to have 4 people on the bus. So you've got a driver, you've got somebody, got about 2 meters, and then another person, then 2 meters and another person, and 2 meters on a person who's sat in the back seat going like that. And that's your bus. So it's not cost effective, really, is it? So anyway, as I was digressing. Imagine you're waiting for a bus in the UK, or in fact you're waiting for a bus anywhere else. Specifically, we'll talk about the UK. If you're in the north of England, and you're from the northeast or wherever, if you're in a bus stop, somebody who's there with you will say, hi, how are you? That's it. Hi, how are you? And you can say, great. And you can say, when's the bus come along? And they say, oh, it's always a bit late, but don't worry, we should be all right. There's a conversation starting there. It might turn into something more, like, where you're heading. Oh, we're going to the shops. Where you heading? I'm going to shoplift. Where you heading after that? Probably to prison. I've just come out. I can't stop it. I'm a kleptomaniac. I don't know. That's probably not the kind of conversation. In fact, it took a weird turn. So you probably just say, where you heading? Just into town. Okay. That's probably no conversation. But if you go to the south of England, then you get a different conversation. And I'm not saying this because I'm from the north, but I kind of am because we're a lot more friendly. Let me explain to you. If you go to a bus stop in the south of England and there's somebody there and you smile at them, first thing they're going to do is going to get their kids and move them a little bit closer to them and possibly the other side of them so you can't see the kids. So then you smile at them again and everything goes quiet. And you say, hi, how are you? And they say, get back, don't come near me, I'm going to call the police, I've got mace, I'm going to squirt you. And you go, all I wanted to say was, what time's the bus come? Because I've not got my glasses on, and I can't see what time it is on the bus timetable, and now I'll probably never see it again, and it's all your fault. And that's the difference between the north and the south of England, and this is completely true. Now, you're going to say now, Dave, this is rubbish, and if you're from the south, you probably turn around and say, Dave, we're friendly as well. I know you are, not everybody, just a lot of people I met, okay? Just saying. And it's not you're not friendly, it's a little bit standoffish. And you're going to say, well, why is that, Dave? And I'm going to say something incredibly xenophobic now, but it's true. Okay, so why is it, he said, picking his nose because he got very excited. Why is it that, stopping the music because he's going like that. Why is it that in the north of England, they should be really friendly, and in the south of England, they're not quite as friendly? That's a very simple fact. If you look at where we came from originally, if you're from the north of England, the Norsemen, the Vikings came from there. So the Vikings went across, and they populated that area. So that's why on a Saturday night, going out, if you ever get a chance to go out again, in the north, you go out with just a t-shirt on, because you've got Viking heritage of just going out and going like that. We don't care. Whereas if you go out in the south, you're wearing like a shirt and a jacket and, 5 layers of clothing. But why is that such a thing? Well, from the south, they tended to come from more reserved places. So they're from France and they're from Germany, who are a little bit more stand back and observe and with a little bit more protocol. Whereas Vikings would be, hey, rape, pillage, way. Well, not every Viking did that. Some just would go, hi, I'm a Viking. Would you like to see my boat? And not the 2 words that I said earlier, which are probably insensitive. I shouldn't say that. But that's the difference between the north-south divide in England. So, you learned something today. And I don't know why I shared it with you, but next we're going to talk about families. And so to do that, we're going to reach out. We've got a brilliant video on family tips. Good to see you here. Always a pleasure. Let me know your thoughts, your comments. It's much love, and I hope you're groovy. Speak on stage.
Everyone is on lockdown at the moment, but you might feel locked up with your family. You're probably watching this video in the attic right now, trying to get away from your sister eating dog biscuits to survive. I get it. See, the truth is, isolation can be tough, especially doing it with your family. But don't worry, Attitude has been talking about how to get along with your family way before isolation started. So we've got some tips for you. Why don't we give Tamatea a call and see what he has to say.
Yo, what up, fam? Look, something I've learned, man, is if you act like a kid, you'll get treated like one. But if you act like a grown-up, you'll get treated like one. And that's what you want. While you're on lockdown, you want your own freedom, you want your own space. So if you mess up, handle it like an adult. Straight up, if you break something, your sister's running around the house, you're chasing them, you're playing volleyball in the kitchen with eggs. I don't know, you're trying to make the For You page, renegade your mum's flower vase onto the floor. Whatever it is, if you handle it like an adult, it'll be way better. Right, like what would a kid do? They'd be like, oh, she did it. Just blame someone else. An adult would be like, Mum, Dad, sit down, we need to have a meeting. And then be like, look, I've done something terrible. And I'm like, what? They'll assume the worst if you say terrible. Have you got a cough? Have you not washed your hands? Do you have the virus? And you're like, nah, I just broke something, but I'm gonna fix it. And that's what you do. You say, I'm gonna take responsibility like a grown up, I got it. I'll fix it, I'll clean it, I'll vacuum the curtains, I'll do whatever. If you handle it like an adult, you'll be treated like an adult. If you handle it like a kid, you'll just be treated like a kid.
Thanks, Tamatea. Act like an adult and you get treated like an adult. Love it. All right, why don't we give Rory a call and see what he has to say.
Now this tip may sound annoying, but it changed my relationship with my parents. Talk to your parents as if you actually like them. Look, I know it sounds basic, but it's crazy how many people forget this. Your parents are stressed out as right now. They're worried about keeping you safe, trying to keep the house tidy, all while having to learn the renegades so your little sister's TikTok doesn't flop. Believe me, you don't want to be the person sharpening gardening tools in your garage with your mum, about to fight off an angry army of people trying to steal your last roll of toilet paper, and it's happening in silence, because you still haven't apologised for hogging the shower that morning. Nah, talk to your parents as if you actually like them. And if you're ever feeling worried or anxious, have a chat to them. They don't want you to feel that way.
Shot Rory, that's mean advice. Hey, I actually heard that Jana has a story to share. So let's give Jana a call and hear what she has to say.
Okay, so you're stuck at home with your parents and you're probably noticing a few things that are really annoying about them. Maybe they were already told you today, like go do the dishes, or why haven't you got the washing in yet, or are you still in your pajamas? Now, I remember going on this road trip with my dad. It was gonna be 9 hours. 9 hours, like what were we even gonna talk about? I was scared he was gonna be like, hey Jana, who do you like? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is awkward, get me out. But actually, halfway through the road trip, he pulled over on the side of the road because it'd been snowing. And he was like, do you wanna go snowboarding? I was like, yeah, but we've got no gear. And he was like, I'll see what I can do about it. And he fully turned into like Bear Grylls. He grabbed these plastic bags, put them on my like shoes to make little snowshoes. He gave me a piece of plywood from the back of his building truck. And it was awesome. I got to like snowboard down these like hills. It was great. I mean, I did end up breaking the plywood, but it was actually a really fun day. And I actually realized my dad is pretty cool sometimes. And so even though you're stuck at home with your parents, best tip I have for you guys is focus on the things that are really cool about your parents. I hope that helps. Bye guys.
Think about it. You aren't stuck with your parents, they're stuck with you. See, the next few weeks, being in isolation, it's gonna be kinda interesting. And over this time, you might butt heads with your parents a little bit. But the truth is, you can't change your parents, but you can change your perspective. And that might just change the situation. So keep positive and enjoy the time that you get to spend with your family. Cheers, guys.
So there we go, a couple of insights into the family side of things, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of nice to hear about the things that you know you should be doing, you shouldn't be doing, and the things we can and can't change. And we've got a couple more videos based on that theme. One I'm particularly proud of because you get an insight into the Crane family. But before that, a brilliant video all about a dad in lockdown. Now, I can really understand that. In fact, there's a dad theme running all the way through this. It's not meant to be about a dad in lockdown. Today's theme is very much all about the family and the ability to get on with the family and survive the family, to be honest with you. This is the theme we had today. Okay, how to survive your family in lockdown. But I think in many ways it kind of brings it back to your own perspective on it. And from there you're able to deal with the bits that you can deal with and let the other people deal with the stuff that they're kind of going through as well. But you've got to be as supportive as you can do. I feel that as a dad, my job is to hold everything up and make sure that everything gets paid and everyone gets access to the stuff that they need, regardless of what the landscape is out there. That's kind of like my daddy job. But my wife works with, you see, here's the thing. I think that's my job. My wife thinks that that's not really my job. That's just a given. We're going to get money coming in because you get it. But she works with me in my business to help me. So she supports me as much as possible. So technically I'm not doing it on my own anyway. But then she runs a house. And I'm just like basically a skivvy in the house. So I have to do stuff like carry the bags out and clean that and do washing, blah, 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 blah. But I never do anything properly because I'm pretty rubbish at it. So I guess I don't really run the house. I guess my wife runs everything. And then she joins in my daughter. She gets my daughter, who's 9, Maya, you met before, you'll see her in a minute. And they work on stuff together. And so the dogs make a mess, generally. Just their hair falls out because they're dogs. But other than that, they don't leave dog eggs, nothing. It's pretty good. So I'm thinking that maybe, after all, I'm at the bottom of the food chain in my house. And I started this conversation by saying, you know, my job is like I was all important. And I'm probably not. So that's an eye-opener for me. And it's probably an eye-opener for you. And you're going to say, Dave, but we knew that anyway. We're just waiting for you to find out. So then, now you know. How do you feel? I feel in lockdown. Next up, great video of a dad, and I think it's hilarious, and this is what we go through, and I hope you enjoy it. Next, Speak on Stage.
G'day. If you're a parent like me and you're in lockdown with kids, then it's probably safe to say that you're also going a little bit crazy. But don't worry, I've made a big compilation of all my old videos in this ultimate guide to having kids in lockdown. Thank me later. Number one, just play hide and seek and hope like hell that they don't find you for a really long time. I'm just in the bathroom.
Get them to help you in the kitchen.
Okay, half a tablespoon of flour and a pinch.
Build stuff like this cart, or you could try to build them like a really cool castle with a moat. Or slap some bits of wood together and make them one of those kids' kitchens. Or even just tie a rubbish bin to a bike.
Can I hop on it yet, Daddy?
Chuck a boot on a stick and call it a horse, or chuck the kid up on your shoulders and then you be the horse, or get on all fours and still be some sort of horse. Have a dress-up party.
I am Nappy Man.
And then we're going to be late to the wall.
I only had one white towel.
Pitch a tent.
Right, easy. Look for monsters under the bed. Let's go.
Teach them how to armpit fart.
Hey. Hey.
Give them a pedicure or one of those manicures or whatever this one is.
Done.
Teach them to dance.
Dizzy spins.
Dad!
Well, I think there's a bit more finesse to it than that. Oh, nice. Do the propeller, do the propeller.
Find a box.
It's a tunnel. Oh!
Make a blanket fort.
We'll fold that.
Let them do your hair, or let them put makeup on your face or paint your face, whichever one you want to call it.
Is it finished?
No.
Tell scary stories.
This is the scary story of witches, ghosts, monsters, and beasts.
Don't be afraid to turn the TV off. Play with their toys, like Barbie stuff.
Your dog's done poos there.
You know, use your imagination and build some cool Lego things.
Look out there, there's a plane. You ready?
Pass a ball around.
1, 2.
Kick a ball around. Teach them to ride a bike. Oh, my butt cheek. You can even read those books and stuff.
All right, all finished?
No.
No, okay.
Teach them to sing.
Shaggy. I reckon I'm not tired of the Bee Gees.
You can tell by the way I use my walk.
Snoop Dogg.
Still representing northern gangsters all across the world.
Teach them music.
3, 4, okay? 1.
Or
Just,
how not to music.
Just pass it here for a second. You just need to
Guide them
TV
through the
on.
correct way to operate a television.
This is channel 1.
Or use your imagination and build them a rocket ship.
There you have it, folks. Have a great day.
Damn it, I think they found me. And that was the ultimate guide to having kids in lockdown. Stay safe out there.
It's not dead.
I think Tim likes it. Tim? Yeah. Who's Tim?
I love that guy. Isn't it brilliant? Just looking there at being a dad, having so much fun because you have to, but you want to. Some of the kids about it. I'm not saying mums don't do it, but I can't speak on behalf of mums because I know that if I do speak on behalf of mums, I'll just get that look. And I'll have to go, okay, let's look at something else then. Let's just talk about something else. Let's not have that conversation. And the thing is, I mean, in lockdown, I've got to admit that I've really enjoyed spending so much time with the family. I really do. It sounds bizarre and bonkers, but I feel like we've been given a blessing to look really have a deep dive at the most important people in your life and put into perspective who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, and how much you give to others that don't care. Because I now do meetings with people all around the world, which makes it a much more fascinating Zoom conversation that you could ever have. So yesterday, having a conversation, I had several conversations, one with a bank where I'm talking to lots of different people from all around the region, and one with another company where it was people from Australia, people from Singapore, people from America, people from Dubai, people from, where was it, Holland? Well, I had a German there as well, just everywhere around the world, all on Zoom, all chatting and not having fun, it was a business meeting. But the point is, that stuff is more exciting. I would never be doing that stuff if we hadn't gone into lockdown, because I'd be looking at my local market only. Not that today's conversation is about that, but my point is that what you do is you end up with a load of opportunities to spend more quality time with the family. So I'm in my office, I'm chatting from there. When that finishes, I go down to have a coffee or a chat with my family. We spend time, we have a meal, we have a laugh together, and then we go back to square one, which is doing what we do. And we all spend time on our gadget. So my gadget is my office with all my different cameras and bits and pieces and stuff I'm doing for my work. My wife's doing the same downstairs in her home office, which is generally the dining room. And I don't go in without asking her who should be obeyed before I say anything. I just need to make sure that she knows that she is being obeyed. And then also, my daughter tends to live with her iPad wherever she wants to be. And my dogs are in and out of the whole thing. And you find your own ecosystem. And what I want to share with you next is the way our ecosystem works. I mean, I love my gorgeous wife Aziza. I love my utterly adorable daughter Maya. My dogs Ash and Snow are fantastic. But we're not some kind of, perfect family. We argue all the time. We fall out all the time. But we also laugh all the time. So I'm going to give you a snapshot, and I did this with my wife's permission. I made a video this morning and said, do you mind if I share this on the show? And she said, yeah, okay. And she could have said no. If she had said no, I wouldn't be showing it to you today, but she did say yes, because she gets with the thing. Gets with it, do you know what I mean? So anyway, here's a rare look into the Crane family here on Speak on Stage. And here we have my beautiful wife Aziza.
This is what he
my
made
beautiful
me.
daughter Maya.
I put chocolate syrup on it, and that's what my dad made me. That's it.
Yes, that's all you deserve.
A burnt pancake.
Now, people talk about during the lockdown that nothing happens, but Maya, you cooked all this breakfast, didn't you, on your own? Mm-hmm. And how grateful is Mummy?
The only one that I didn't cook was the burnt one that my dad made.
Shut your face. How grateful is Mummy? How grateful is your mother?
Extremely.
Oh, tell us then. Say to the camera. Say how extremally grateful you are.
I'm extremely grateful. How do I break
Look into the camera when you say it.
I'm extremely grateful.
Right.
How do I break the crown? Which bit should I cut?
The Queen.
Which one?
Well, as soon as you do break it, we'll just get the crown.
The one that accidentally put a doom doom on top.
What's a doom doom?
I don't know.
So how do I cut? Do I cut it this way or do I cut it this way?
You know,
I don't know, it doesn't
there's
matter.
actually a really good idea for this, and it's called I couldn't give a how you cut it, so
Fine,
just go
I'll
and eat
just
it.
fold it.
You've done it the wrong way! Go on, missus.
She's breaking her crown.
Is this the first one you've eaten?
Yeah.
It's like watching somebody eat for the first time. Mmm, yummy. Eat that, Mummy. Mmm. Very good.
So I made them really thin because the first one after I decided to make mini pancakes.
Mummy chews like a camel.
Because there wasn't much left in the packet.
And verdict, Mummy, is it nice? So she can do it next time?
All the time.
Okay, good. Well, we run out of pancake mix. Maya, get in the car, go to a shop and get some more.
You get it.
Fill out the form first.
Alright, love you, bye.
You get it. How about you get it?
You shut your face, just eat your pancake.
Bye.
Babe, the strawberry you buy not sweet.
Love you, bye.
They're not sweet.
Doggy?
I told them.
Snow.
They have bruises all over
Tell
them.
them.
Try it.
No.
Try it.
No.
Open your gob.
Give me one.
Open your gob.
Give me one.
Open your gob.
Take it. Take the whole thing.
Delicious.
It's sour. Bye.
I'm on to my second pancake.
Munch.
Bye.
Right then, here I am. Hey, Dave, back again. So that's my gorgeous family. It was Aziza, my wife, a gorgeous wife, my daughter, and one dog. The other dog, Ash, was at the other side of the room and doesn't do much. I think she just judges us, just stares at us. And in a kind of doggy way, he does the same as like, you know the villains in James Bond have got a cat. And goes, Mr. Bond, we've been expecting you. Ash is like that, but she hasn't got a cat. Because if she had a cat, she'd be like that. Oh, wouldn't really. Should be. No, they're fine with cats actually. No cats go near them. I walk with dogs every day and we don't go near cats. Just before anyone turns around and says, Dave, you're a cat, dog, person, whatever. Just calm down. What I'm saying is Ash doesn't do anything. She just chills out, all right? She just judges. She's looking at us all the time and just saying, you people make me sick. Oh, when I rule the world, you're going down, and you're going down. And can I go for a walk and have some biscuits, please? I love you. Does that a lot. Right, okay. So what I'm going to share with you now with our deep dive is something that I think is rather cool. Normally I go for a lot of different tips, but I want to talk about the attitude of being a parent during lockdown by showing you something that has nothing to do with lockdown. This is a video, a very short video, an example of a dad who goes along to an event where his little 2-year-old daughter is going on stage, dancing at the ballet, and she falls over, she can't do it, and she starts crying. Now, this is tearing me up as I speak about it, because it's really important to me. When I saw this video, I thought, right, forget what you normally share on your phone, this is what you're going to share. Now, here's the important bit about it. I'm going to show this video in a few moments' time, and then we'll break down what actually happened there. And today's session is it's not meant to be about dadding, it's about surviving your family when you're in lockdown, but I can only speak about it from a dad's point of view, and I am a dad. So, it's like he goes on stage and he joins in to help support his daughter. Just watch it. All right, just watch it, because I'm getting all fluffy now, and I don't want to get fluffy. I want to have fun with you and share this moment, which I think is beautiful. And this is it on Speak on Stage. Watch this.
He's even pointing his feet. I love it.
See that? Now, I think that's beautiful, and it gets to me. And the reason I want to talk about it and share it with you is because there's a couple of things that happened there. Now, let's give it a name check to the dad. So it's kind of important. If anybody knows him or got him on Facebook or LinkedIn, say hello. So it's called Mark Daniels, right? He's a criminal lawyer. So clearly he's got a proper job and stuff. 2-year-old daughter, Isabella, goes on stage, gets all whatever. He goes on stage. Now, a couple of things there about being a dad, and it's about parenting. Apparently he tried a couple of ways to get her up to do stuff, and it wasn't working. So he led by example. Got up there, did it anyway. He showed he had confidence in her doing it, and he carried his baby at the same time. Now that's a proper dad. That's what we do. And the only example I would give about how I feel about this, to sort of like illustrate how important it is, and mums have your own version. I will talk about the importance of mums. I always talk about the importance of women in business, and I will talk about the importance of mums in the home, and possibly get a conversation with my wife out of it. She doesn't like going on screen at all for any reason. But I will mention the fact that when my daughter started swimming, we put her in for swimming lessons. And I put her into swimming lessons because I wanted to know if we went to a hotel or we went swimming the sea or something like that, she would be safe. She could jump into the sea, swim about, no problem, feel safe, and there we go. That was the objective. But my wife is from Singapore. My gorgeous wife, Aziza, is from Singapore. So if you're a Singaporean, if you've never been to Singapore, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you're from Singapore, you're nodding frantically like that, but your glasses aren't falling off because hopefully you haven't got a strange pair of glasses and nose combination set as I have. But if you're from Singapore, getting the right schooling is so important. And literally, if your kid doesn't do so well as next door's kid in their exams at the age of 13, 14, it was almost like they brought shame to your family. And I know it sounds terrible, and Singaporeans have been going, don't tell people that. But from what I've experienced, it's really a big deal. And it's not like that. I know it can be like that in India, and it can be like that in a lot of different countries. In Britain, it's generally like, did you pass your exams? What exams? Did it turn up for school? That's what they were doing in our living room, playing games for 6 years for. I knew there was something I had to go. That's kind of the balance. So our daughter goes in for swimming lessons, and that's great. Then my wife wants her to go into the swimming class at school, so that's fine as well. Then she gets selected to go in a swimming race. And I shouldn't really say this without asking for Maya's permission, but this is just a dad thing. So she goes in a swimming competition, the inter-school swimming competition. She's representing her school, everyone's representing their schools, she's representing her year, all the rest of it. And every race she jumps into, she splashes to the point where almost all the water jumps out of the pool and all over everybody else, and comes last in almost every race. My wife is going furious. She says, look at all that money, all that effort I taught her how to swim. She's much better than that. She's not using her leg, she's just using her arm. She's never going to win if she doesn't make the effort. And I couldn't answer. Why? Because I couldn't see any of the kids. I could only see mine. She did great. Right, taking a quick break. I'm starting to tear up now. I shouldn't do. But talking about my family really matters to me. So, right, how to survive your family in lockdown. Moving on, a couple of things I want to share with you. First of all, the main lesson is you can do this. It gets passionate because you care so much and because we've never been put in this situation before. And it is difficult, and you can do it. Give me a moment. Right, so I'm going to share with you a couple of things that will help for you to be able to get through. You've already been in lockdown for a period of time. You probably have all this anyway, so it might work as a bit of a useful reminder for you. If you haven't already worked out what you've got to do, then this could help. The first thing I'm going to do, share with you, is a really useful resource for going virtual with your kids. Now, you might want to take a copy of the screen of them and head to one side like this. This is stuff you can Google, and I deliberately left it all on one page so you can start writing stuff down or just take a screenshot. But I feel really weird in my head like this. I feel like I'm squeezing into my daughter's toy car when I used to push around when she was very small, and I should never have done it, but I had no choice. Winnie the Pooh was in there, and Tigger was in there, and it was kind of squashy, but it was fun as well. Okay, so these are virtual activities. I'll read through them to give you enough time to be able to write them down or Google them, but these are things you can do. Okay, first thing to do is Google virtual activities, and you'll get a ton of things that come through from Google. If you've never done this, and you probably have as a parent, then do it for definite. And you might want to do it for yourself. Virtual activities are always good, whoever you are, wherever you are. And all the places that we used to be involved with tourism and don't have any tourists now have usually created a 3D virtual version of themselves. So you can walk around the Louvre-style museums and places and get the guided tour. All right. So first thing to do is Google it yourself. Second thing is look at places like this. Number 2 is Joe Wick, who's a famous British, I believe, because I don't live there. I've lived in Dubai for like 30 years. But he's a fitness and cooking guru type bloke, and apparently on his YouTube channel every morning at 9 o'clock he does some exercises, and the whole nation joins in with him. So you can start with that for your family, or watch the old ones if you get up too early or too late and see old reruns. It doesn't matter if he's doing it every day. He's got 10 billion you can watch. Number 3, Bear Grylls, who you know is like a guy that if you dropped him into the middle of the desert or the ocean or the forest or a mountainside, he would have a he'd build a mansion in like 2.5 days out of twigs and have a Michelin star restaurant waiting to cook you some incredible dishes made out of grubs and nettles and all sorts, but there would be, he's incredible. So he's got a show, apparently, where if you Google this, it's probably the best thing, 100 indoor challenges for kids. Okay, and I'll stop the music on this because it's a little bit noisy and you might not be able to pick up what I'm saying. I'll just turn down a little bit like that, that's better. I like that, I like that, I like that. If I go like that, peace and quiet. There we go. So Bear Grylls, 100 things to do inside for kids. Number 4, virtual Harry Potter escape room. A virtual escape room, it sounds amazing anyway, where you've got a timer, maybe an hour to get out by finding clues, but one that's got Harry Potter in it, even better. Number 5, National Theatre at Home, broadcasting every Thursday. Google these things, by the way. If you're not in the UK, then you won't know them instantly, but they'll be just as relevant for you and your family, especially your kids, by having a look at that. So the National Theatre, which means you've got lots of plays, lots of interesting things going on. Number 6, bring the British Museum of London direct to your home. The British Museum of London. There's going to be guaranteed to be some interesting things in there for you and your family. Google it, have a look at it, and it will make you go, British, crazy. Live cam footage at Monterey Bay Aquarium. So that means you can see what's going on around the aquarium. Or here, if you want to go to Africa, the African wildlife on safari. So you got a choice of different, you've got the fish life or the natural life. And they're going to have webcams everywhere, so you can see it and relax and enjoy it and spend quality time. You can also talk to the instructors, I believe, and the people who look after everybody there. I don't know what the name is for them, instructors. You don't really instruct fish, do you? Say caretakers, rangers. Okay, so you can talk to them and they'll speak to you. And if you can jump in, it's like a class, and they'll show you around as they're doing all the webcam stuff. It's fantastic. Number 8, Josh Gad. Now you're wondering who Josh Gad is. Josh Gad was in Frozen, and he played, what's his face, the snowman. Oh my goodness, what's the snowman called? Do you want to build a snowman? Hold on, just wait with me. Give me a moment now. Somebody's going to tell me. I'm not going to wait for that to happen. Right, Frozen snowman was called. Wait for it, don't tell me. Olaf! Yes, see? In real time. Olaf the Snowman. Was it Olaf? Yeah, it was. But it wasn't a laugh. Not very funny at all. Okay, so Olaf, Josh Gad played Olaf, and he played other characters in Disney. He's a really funny, cool, and smart, and humorous guy. So he reads bedtime stories, apparently on Twitter, every single night. So it's worthwhile having a look at that and getting him to do some of the heavy lifting for you when you're told, Dad, or Mom, or Uncle, depending what you've been up to. Can you come and read the story? And then you can say, yes, I'll bring my friend Josh Gad. Get your phone out, start the thing going, put it on their pillow, just go and watch Netflix for a bit. Come back, pick your phone up and go. See, easy. And number 9, Delish. Apparently, Delish.com are doing kids cooking classes every single day. Now, remember, a lot of this stuff you will miss the opportunity to see live. It doesn't mean you have to catch it live because it will be on video and it will be available. And from what I can see, 99.99999% of these are absolutely free. So you don't have to worry about the fact that you're going, oh my goodness, how much is this going to cost me, Dave? Have you any idea how much we're spending in lockdown? Nothing. But not a lot, but even so. So there you go. They're kind of useful. If you want to take a copy of this, I'll just stick my head to one side. Like that. Okay. And you can do what you want with it, and I'm going to move on. If you missed it, rewind the video and freeze it. And that says Twitter behind my head. Or at the moment it says Twit. Alright then, so how to survive your family in lockdown. I've got a number of different points for you now, which I think will prove to be very useful. First one is this, create a routine. I'll turn the music down a bit, again a little bit, because it does get quite exciting. There you go. First one, create a routine. It doesn't have to be inflexible, but a rough guide as to what gets done and when. A routine helps the family. Certainly, it allows you to know what your duties are, and it also stops people getting to boiling points who are saying, you know what, this is my job to do that. Can somebody else do it, please? So if everyone knows what their role is, and it's kind of simple, you don't have to do it. It's a bit regimented, but maybe it does help. Okay, number 2, openly communicate with your children and listen to their concerns and try to reassure them what's going on. Not easy to do, because it's like saying, how long do we run a marathon for? I say, I don't know. Oh, how long does this road go on for? And I don't know. You just got to keep driving. And this is exactly what we've got right now. But if you're on the journey with them and you're telling them with, a straight face about the fact that you don't know what's going on, but let's just enjoy it for what it is. Kids adapt. So they do adapt really well. But you just got to make sure that we understand that this is new to you as well, but it's an adventure, it's fun, and we don't know what's going on next, but it will be brilliant. It will be a rainbow and a light at the end of a tunnel. Make sure we know that, and don't transfer how you feel about it in your quiet moments to the kids if you can avoid it. Doesn't mean that they can't see that you're being honest and total with it, but in many cases your job is to make sure that they don't have their young lives ruined by the terrible things that are going on around the world. Tough balancing act, but as a parent you know what I'm talking about. I'm not being cruel to you, I'm just telling you about being a parent. Alright, so number 3 is this: make the best of the situation. It's not often you get a chance to spend quality time with your family like this, and it is true. We don't often get that chance to be together quite so much. It's normally a Friday, but now it's every day. I don't even know what Friday looks like. Friday looks like every single day anyway, but I kind of like it. I like the quality time that we spend, as you can see from the video, and me starting to blob earlier when talking about my family and how much I love them. Okay, number 4, add some... Starting again now. Woosa. Right. Add some bedtime relaxation to your routine, which could be music, candles, a book, whatever, and make it you time. Now, I'm not talking about that. What you do in your private time is up to you. But what I'm saying is that routine before you go to bed is kind of useful. I would say music is nice, but whatever you do, make sure you can switch it all off. When it's got on your music on your phone is a bit crappy unless you've got a sound system to play it on, but you can say switch off over a period of time. Candles is great, but just be careful that you don't fall asleep and wake up with the house on fire. That would be difficult in lockdown to go, right, let's move over there. There's nowhere else to go. Everyone's occupied. I have to go back to my burning house. Sung by Talking Heads. So make sure that you do turn off the candles, but you have maybe a little nice smell. What I like to have, somewhere over here, I've got my oil humidifier thing. What's it called? Not a purifier. Anyway, it's a thingy. You put some essential oils in, and it fills. And right now it's sandalwood, so it's like being in a spa. Because I spend far too much time in this office, and my family come in and go, Dad, what were you doing in this office? It smells like cabbage. And I said, just living, man. It was just living. They said, well, you've been farting as well. So next up, by the way, shouldn't really talk about that, but it just fell out, just indeed like it did with the cabbage. Next up, number 5 is this one: stay active. There's nothing like a workout to get rid of your stress and anxieties. I haven't started working out yet after 8 months. I've got to admit, I do look a little bit like a fat boy, and that is something I will be addressing. Now that I feel relatively comfortable with all the other bits and pieces, I made a decision as a dad, very simply, that as we go into lockdown, and as an entertainer and speaker, and as I travel around the world, I've spent a lot of time working on that career. Clearly, you can't do that when it comes to lockdown. You are stuffed, mate. So I wanted to spend and dedicate so much of my time to one mission, and that's making sure that we still had an income coming in. And despite the fact that our business is decimated for maybe a couple of years, I started doing speaking online, I'm doing TV shows, I'm talking all around the world, and I'm consulting and training all around the world, especially with digital stagecraft, and teaching people to be great at growing their brand, their personal brand and their business brand. So now I've re-pivoted my entire business around. I'm really busy, got loads of clients and some really exciting projects, which I'll tell you about at some future date. I'm able to now go, oh, by the way, Dave, you're a fat boy, so can you sort that out next? So that will be sorted out. Or my name's not, which is clearly not. Number 6 is this, making sure that you do this thing in your survival of your family during lockdown: educational iPad apps. If you've got a kid and they spend all the time on the iPad, of course, Dave, every kid spends all the time on the iPad. There are options about it where they don't have to be playing About Us all the time, or what's the other one? Fortnite. There's a load of educational stuff I can do. My daughter is mad for making gacha. And gacha is a kind of anime style thing, the Japanese cartoon thing. We've got big heads and big eyes and well, they look like kids, to be honest with you. And she makes all these music videos, and she's brilliant at it. She's got over 1,000 subscribers, and her videos are sometimes watched by 70,000 people per video. Isn't that bonkers? So she's actually very good at it. She's only 10, and I go, she says, Daddy, how many people watch your show? I say 1,000, 2,000. She goes, okay, my last video, about 70,000. You're crap. She did. She said it to me. So that's why she's currently in the cellar. I'll leave her there for a little while. Didn't really. I'm only joking. Okay, I'm going to press this. We've not talked about money, because love is worth more than money. And you can't buy love with money. Moving on. All right then. Number 7 is this audiobooks or Google Mini Home. I bought my daughter a Google Mini Home. Now that's that little unit. It looks a bit like this. It's that kind of size, but it's you can talk to it. It's artificial intelligence. Now some people will say, "Oh yeah, but are you going to let that take in all the information that goes on in your house and record it?" Well, yes, I am. I'll tell you why I am. Because it's for my daughter. She has a personal companion, a robot. She'll learn about artificial intelligence, programming, and by the time that she decides to move on and buy a new one or a better one at some point, she'll just have a better understanding about how AI is affecting our lives. She'll be incredible at Google search, especially voice search, and if you're a single child, having that voice that you can talk to, understanding how to program it, is kind of useful. Now here's the thing about it. These units, and they're brilliant. We've got one downstairs, we've got one here, and I say Google Mini. There's a number of different ones. Amazon's got one, I think, and a few other have got Alexa. They're really cheap. They're about like $50 or something, depending where you're going. Super cheap, great value, and you can access lots of information, and they're worthwhile having, apart from the fact that obviously we have a worry about the taking in our information. We can get it anyway. What are you hiding? Like, we're going to get you anyway. So anyway, number 8, schedule your work into 2-hour blocks. So that means you've got 2 hours of your work, then half an hour with the family and the kids, 2 hours, half an hour, 2 hours, half an hour. I tend to do it like that. I tend to make 2 hours for a meeting. I mean, I'll have about 15, 20 minutes. It tends not to be half an hour, but then I'll take an hour for lunch with the family. And that goes all the way from very early. I start about 4:30. So when I go to bed, around about 10:30, depending on how wiped up I am, or whether I'm watching Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and snipping a little episode before I go to bed. But doing it like that, you can do it, and work will understand as long as you still get the work done. Number 9, recharge time. Have some selfish time for you. Very important. Make sure you do have time when you can just go, this is for me. And your family will understand because they do it themselves as well. And you have to have that. If you're giving all the time, then you go crazy. As an entertainer, for many, many years, I realized that the sanity that you get is from having a small group of friends that you can be yourself to. Because when you're on stage and you're entertaining people and letting people have a lot of fun, you can't do it all the time. Because then when you're with your friends and you're still trying to entertain them, there's no real you that comes out. And your friends don't laugh at your jokes in the same way because they don't have to. So they can go like that, and you go, well, it wasn't a good joke. And we say, well, it's a good joke, but I don't want to hear it all the time. So there you go. So it makes sense to me, even though you're probably going, Dave, why are you talking about being an entertainer? All right then, because you're not entertaining anybody for a while, apart from this show. Is it entertaining for you? Yes, no? Yes? Yes? No. All right then, number 10 is this one on how to survive your family in lockdown. It's a button that's clearly not going to press itself, so Dave press it, and my mouse isn't pressing nothing. Oh, good. The priority is to get through each day. If you get to bedtime and you've managed to do it, you've won another day, and it's that simple. You don't have to worry about getting massive wins. Your massive win is to stay alive and to stay afloat and to get on with people and just enjoy life. We're going to be like this for a couple of years, I think. Not as bad as this. I mean, it will get better, but you're still going to be worried about coronavirus and thinking about it. The key is to have a life regardless. It really is, to create a world around you where you can have fun, you can enjoy it, you can have quality time with the people you love, make new connections, and also, apart from the fact that it's really difficult to get close to people, use this opportunity to connect with people all around the world where you wouldn't see them anyway, but they're open to have a chat. Friends that have left town, friends that have gone away, that you're still connected to on social media. Have a Zoom call to them. Doesn't have to mean you've got to talk to them all the time, but just talk enough to keep the love going and keep that relationship going. This is a perfect time to do it because everyone's open for it and everyone's kind of stuck at home. Give the kids lots of independent tasks. Make them stimulated, and it also leaves you free to not do the stuff. If, like Maya's job is to brush the dogs, clean up the dog hair. So I don't have to brush the dogs and clean the dog hair. She's got to make sure the dogs' bowls are full. And on a evening, she feeds the dogs. On the morning, I feed the dogs and I walk them. So there's different duties that you got, and it means that I don't have to think about it and feel terrible as well. Daily exercise allowed, depending which country you're in, but you should be able to do something anyway, because lockdown isn't lockdown that much. You can go and do things. Walking around the garden or walking your dogs is generally okay too. So I walk my dogs every day. Good long walk, about 5 minutes. As long as they seem like the good dogs. And if you don't do it, then we give that dog eyes. Ooh, Daddy, why have you come out? And they give me grief. And also, I've learned, if you don't take your dogs out, what they will do is they'll rampage around your house and make you feel uncomfortable and be really edgy because they haven't got it out of their system, because they're waiting for you to say, okay, we're going for a walk in the middle of the afternoon, or we're going for a walk in the middle of the night. And Snow, the white dog you saw in the video earlier, she can actually open doors now. So if you are trying to get like an afternoon nap between meetings or between doing projects or anything, all she will do is go, right, open a door, I'm going to go straight past the bed, I'm going to look out the window, and I'm going to get bored and go back through again. And she does that, and if you go, oh, you've woken me up, get out, and you close the door, then she'll just open it again, come through, check on you. Sometimes she'll come up really close to your face and just stare at you like a four-legged stalker. And that's what you have when you got dogs in the house in lockdown. Okay, so number 14, lower your expectations about what you need to do from life and what you need to do from work. You don't need to do any of those things. And it really does allow you to think about what life is truly all about. You don't have to be a world beater when you've got the lockdown, but if you do decide to step up and do something with it, you've also got the opportunity to do it while everyone else is in kind of going slow, safe mode like you get on the computer for that as well. And number 15 is very simple. Don't you worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. He said with his worst West Indian and Bob Marley accent. It's true. Everything's going to work out in the end. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. You will still make your money. You will still get stressed. And you will still be going, I am good. That's all good as well. Yeah, I just realised that I didn't leave it long enough for you to be able to take a copy of the last slide. So let me just turn back to the last slide very quickly. I'll stick my head to one side like that. There you go. If you want to take a shot of that and make sure you can do the checklist and check you've got it all. And if meanwhile, if there's anything that I've mentioned there and you're saying, Dave, what did you mean by that? Or Dave, can I have a copy of this? Then just contact me directly and I promise I'll do it for you, because that's the sort of crazy guy that I am. Okay, so next I want to talk about the Industry Icon Program, which is what this is all about. The ability to work with you and brand you and get you out there. If you've got a business or you've started a side hustle, or you're thinking, right, this is a great opportunity, or everyone's sort of like in flux, I'm going to run ahead of the industry and be positioned really well for when things get better, or even I'm going to create things better now, then now's the best time to do it. I'm working with organizations where we said, right, Dave, we've got like 50, 60 senior managers. Can you give them the best brand that you can do and also teach them how to speak and communicate effectively? So what we're doing is effectively creating the Avengers amongst all their staff. Their senior staff will be able to go out and represent, but also speak on telly, speak on radio, do blog interviews, do podcasts, do their own stuff for their organization, and also when they're inspiring their staff, the staff will be able to follow them by seeing in their footsteps how well they've done. If you're interested in all that, you want to be able to learn to speak as a great part of your branding to push your business out there even further, contact me directly or go to SpeakOnstage.com. When you go to SpeakOnstage.com, then you can get options there. First option is to take the modules, which for a very, very great offer, I can't say how much, you will be able to do all the stuff that I train you in to be able to be an effective speaker. But if you want the personal touch, but you're not sure how to do it and what that means, then just contact me directly. From there, you could go down the page. I should have a page to show you, really. A button that click on the industry icon, and a Calendly link will spring up from out of nowhere, and you can book a 10-minute, 15-minute consultation with me. And if you're serious about being a speaker and you want to grow your brand and you want to be more effective and you need to be able to coach to get there, then we'll work out how to do that. Many people have turned around and say, no, don't do it. It's not you're not ready yet. You haven't got your brand ready. You haven't got stuff that you need to do. And many people say, yeah, I can work with you. So I am very busy. I mean, crazy busy, but I will find time for you. Don't come to me and say, Dave, I want a job. That's a different thing. I'm not an expert on that. I don't have a job for you. And also, I don't want a job. I never have wanted a job. Why is that? Well, very simply, because from my own personal point of view, I don't want to be in a position where somebody turns around to me and says, Dave, we've decided that we're going to give that job to somebody else. I find it crushing. I find it disappointing. And I really don't see why you should hand the keys to your life over to anybody else. The contracts I'm working on, yes, sometimes I get it. Sometimes I don't. And there's a little tip I'll give you here, which is if you find yourself that you're going for a job interview or you're doing any kind of thing where you didn't get it, here's what you do. Rejection is not somebody saying that you weren't worthwhile. Rejection is not getting something you didn't have in the first place. So you didn't have it before, you haven't got it now, so nothing's changed. Life goes on. Does that make sense? Good. So with that, it's been an interesting show. Hope you enjoyed it. I loved it. I teared up like a little baby. I showed you some laughs, hopefully. Told you about my family. You got to see my gorgeous wife, Aziza, who always hides because she only comes out at night because she's a vampire. She's watching this day. Why do you do this to yourself? You know when you start saying stuff and you're just thinking, I wish I'd not said it because it was like suicide? Because in lockdown, you've got no choice. There's nowhere to hide. We know every place that there is in the house. And there is no cellar apart from where she keeps a coffin. Done it again. Should stop doing it. Tomorrow we got another great subject. I love your thoughts. I love your comments, and it's always a pleasure to have you with me. I honestly couldn't do this without you. Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself into some kind of weird camera and wondering where all my friends have gone. But you are here, and I love you for it. Love your thoughts, love your comments, subscribe, share this with as many people as possible. Any family that's stuck in lockdown, feel free to share this with anybody. It's dedicated to dads everywhere, but also mums everywhere, and kids everywhere, and dogs and cats, and gerbils, and budgies, and fish everywhere. Well, not fish. Fish. They can't even watch it properly. All they do is watch it like it's like they're watching TV on TV. And when you ask them to comment, all they go is pop. So everyone but fish, this is for you. So I'm going to leave you with a thought all about families, all about love, and all about what we really are doing here. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Look after yourself. Stay safe, stay groovy, and connect with me on every platform. And I'll see you soon on Speak on Stage. Bye. What's your superpower? What is it you can switch on and off to allow you to be a better person and to help change and save the world? I've come to understand my own mortality over the last few years. I'm a little overweight. I'm not as funny as I thought I was. My jokes sometimes are a little bit rude, a little bit offensive. I don't understand as much as I thought I knew about other races, other religions, other people's politics, or other people of different sex. I try my very best to come to terms with where I should be and what I can do, but sometimes things just pass over my head and I have no idea how they got there. Every day I define and try and learn to be better, and I understand that I dropped the ball. I understand I didn't make it to all the different places I wanted to do, and all the things I wanted to be, and all the things I wanted to achieve. But I am a dad, and I am a husband, and I am a friend, and I am trying to change. And I know it's going to get hard. I know it's going to get more difficult, and I am outside of my comfort zone, but I promise you one thing, and this one thing I want to give to you as a gift. I'm not going to stop pushing to be a better man. And yes, it hurts, and I make a fool of myself, and some days I'm left there with the whole world watching and going, why would he do that? But you know what? What if it had worked out to be fine? What if it had worked out to be special? What if the results that I got was actually what I wanted to be? What if I had actually grown wings and learned to fly? Where would that have left me? And what lesson would that leave you? Be the best that you can be. The world is changing. He wants to see who you can be. And one day, when it's all over, we'll stop the stopwatch and we'll say, how did you get on? When that happens, then you can rest. Until then, come on, let's do this.